Hello, this is Brody.
Yes, good afternoon. Is this the Kelp for Less
Yes.
site?
Yeah, you have the right guys. How can I help you?
Basically, I saw something on YouTube. I have a jaboticaba tree,
Okay.
and it is producing. But I saw on YouTube this guy using your one of those triple phosphate, super phosphate, and he says it works pretty good. So, what's your advice? What's your advice for? It's in the pot. It's like in a 25-gallon pot. It's doing
Okay.
well.
Okay.
We're in North Florida, so I do protect it in the wintertime. I just wanted something that can kick up my my fruit trees. You know, my sugar apple, my guava, and my jaboticaba mainly.
Okay. So you're just looking to enhance that fruit off of there is what we're trying to do. Trying to produce more fruit, right?
Exactly. Keep the plant going.
Okay, perfect. So a couple things. I mean, really, it's not that one particular product worked so well. It's just the main thing that we want to provide or supplement with when it comes to fruits or flowers is phosphate and potassium are like the key elements there. Phosphate and potassium. And so what I'd recommend, it's not so much what the product is, it's a matter of how can we access that phosphate and potassium, and what type of products might have strong doses of phosphate and potassium. So a couple things I would look at would be like, we have a product called, it's just 3 letters. It's called MKP. M as in Mary, K as in kitten, P as in Paul. And that is MKP. So I'm going to start there, and I'm not saying that this is the best one. I want to walk you through a couple things. So MKP is really good or valuable in a nutritional standpoint because its analysis, its NPK analysis, it's 52% phosphate and 34% potassium, and it has no nitrogen. So it's O5234 NPK analysis, okay? So
O52, what was that?
O5234.
34, because I'm on the site now, and I'm looking at the product now.
Yeah. So now the value to that is it's very rich in phosphate, it's very rich in potassium, and it's easy to supplement with the phosphate and potassium when using something like MKP, because it's water soluble. It's chelated available nutrients, meaning that it's food that's cooked in the form that the plant wants to eat. It doesn't have to break down. It doesn't take time to break down. It's readily available to the plant. So this is probably one of the most popular uses of MKP, is to supplement the fruiting and flowering process of anything. Now, whether you're growing a flower or a fruit, MKP is definitely going to be beneficial.
Okay.
But now a couple things I want to walk you through. So this MKP is heavily synthetic, right? It's a conventional fertilizer, which is why it's so rich in the nutrients, is because it's a salt-based product. So what I like to do, and this is kind of what I educate our customers on, is if you search for a product called Density on our website, I want to walk you through that one because they're going to be very similar to each other. And in fact, the main ingredient inside Density is MKP. So it is the base of the nutrition plan. But if we look at Density, that has an MKP or an NPK analysis of 0.4525. So you might look at that and say, well, this is lower in those numbers. Isn't this less effective? And a couple things to think about is, what we're doing is we're using MKP as the base of this blend, and then we're supplementing with additional biostimulants or organic-derived, plant-derived nutrition. And I really like to reference this or provide an analogy of when we add the biostimulants with the conventional fertilizers, it's like a little bit of sugar with the medicine. It helps it go down.
Okay.
And so we might look at this number and say, well, if it's a 0.4525 on the Density, that's lower numbers. It's not going to be as effective. What I found, however, is that when you incorporate Density instead of MKP, what I find is that your plant responds better to it. It's more available to the plant. It consumes more of that food and utilizes more of that food more efficiently, all because we have some extra ingredients in there. We have some kelp, we have some humic acid, we have some fulvic acid, we have some amino acids in there, and those are all plant-derived nutrition, and and
Mm-hmm.
and and that is what helps get more of that MKP available to the plant. So the plant utilizes it more. So even though it has a lower NPK analysis, I found greater success rate using something like density, just because of the added biostimulant value. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, that's the 04525. I'm looking at your site here.
Yep.
Now,
And that is, go ahead.
All
Go
this
ahead.
is water. This is all water powder and water soluble, right?
Absolutely. Yep. You mix this up in water, goes right into solution. And then if you scroll down on that page, we do have a when and where to use. And for hydroponic soil and soilless application rates, we want a half a teaspoon in a gallon of water. And then you'll just water that plant with that solution.
Oh, half a teaspoon.
Supplement.
So
and I do
strong.
that. Yeah, exactly. And I do that. I do that about once a week, as I'll feed with this once a week.
Really, once a week. Wow. So help when you mix that half a teaspoon with a gallon of water, is that gallon is for each plant, or is it various plants?
Well, okay, so that's going to be determined based on the size of the plant, right? So, for instance, you may I want you to look at it like if a plant takes a gallon of water to water it effectively and efficiently, well then yes, we can probably just mix that up, that half teaspoon in a gallon of water, and water that plant with that gallon. That now, if you have a bigger plant that's in, let's say, a 5-gallon or a 20-gallon container, that of course is going to need more water. So based on how much water you're going to be using, you will mix up enough to suffice the water. Does that help better understand?
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah. And I see here, boy, it says 35 to 420. So
this is all based on weight. So if we go back up to where like the pitcher is, we have a little drop down there, and you could choose the quantity that you're after. So if you're looking for large quantities or small quantities, we offer both, and a price breakdown is for each one.
Right, I see here 1 pound is 35. One pound is a lot of teaspoons, right?
Yeah, I would say just approximate here. If I was to guess, you're probably going to get around 30 different doses or the half teaspoon. You'll get around 60 doses because there's around 30 teaspoons in that pound.
Okay.
And if you're using a half teaspoon at a time, you'll get around 60 doses.
Mhm. Wow, 5 pounds, 150 of them. Wow, it's expensive stuff, huh?
Boy, it's but it also is really good. It does matter, and I'll tell you, I get looking at it from that perspective, but I tell you, when you use this and you see what it does, you'll be like, okay, I understand, and it's much easier to justify the cost. I can tell you from firsthand experience.
Right. Okay. All right. Not a problem. So I can order right off the website too, right?
Absolutely. Now, another way I want to kind of walk you through here is this is a whole nother alternative and a whole nother way, a bit more cost effective. Let me walk you through this one. If you search rock on our website, ROCK, you'll see a product pop up called rock phosphate, and it's a brown powdery, kind of look like earth, but I want you to check out the rock phosphate, and I want to guide you through a couple things.
Yeah, rock phosphate granular, rock phosphate.
Yeah, just the regular rock phosphate, not the granular.
Yeah, that's what I think I saw on the website, the guy using.
Yeah. So, and this is good too. It is a dry powder, but here's the problem. It's not water soluble. It's not available to the plant. And if we look at the NPK analysis on that, that's a 0.30. So not very heavy in phosphate, but here's the thing, is that there is, I want to say 50% phosphate in this rock phosphate product. The problem is we
Uh-huh.
can only access 3% of it right now. And so where's the other 50%?
Right.
And well, it takes time to break down. So this is a much more cost-effective solution, but now we're waiting for it. So let me give you an example. Is if you choose the 20-pound option on rock phosphate, it's $45. And so not quite the sticker shock, right? But
Right.
here's the thing to think about. If you were to, before you plant any plant, or if you're about to transplant a plant, I would prefer for you to mix up some of this rock phosphate into whatever medium that you're using and then transplant into this. And now over the course of the next, let's call it 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, we're going to get available phosphate slowly breaking down over time and feeding that plant the phosphate requirement that it needs. The problem is that it takes 100 or more days for that to start happening, whereas
Right.
a product like Density, that's readily available. It's instantly available, and the plant can start using it right up front, where the rock phosphate takes 100 to 120 days to break down.
Right. And it won't burn the plant either, right?
Exactly, because it's slow release. It's like, think of it like a trickle feed or a trickle water. That's what's happening with the phosphate. It's slowly trickling the phosphate over time, and that's why you'll see that this is much more cost effective, but it's not nearly as available, and time is required to access it. So that would be the two differences. If you're trying to get phosphate, this would be the two different variables you have to work with: a slow release option or a readily available option. But the readily available option, you'll definitely pay a premium for it.
Right. And the water soluble, it will not burn the plant either, right?
The water-soluble stuff, it absolutely can burn the plant, but not if you're using it as directed. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll say, oh, a half a teaspoon in a gallon of water. Well, if that's good, then maybe if I double the dose, it'd be even better. And now we're getting into that scenario of potential issues. If you follow our doses, they're accurate, no burn, and there'll be proper feeding. But most people don't follow those directions because they think more is better, and then that's where the burn comes in. So as long as you're following directions, you're good.
All right. Between the MKP and the monopotassium phosphate, which one would you say?
Okay, so MKP and monopotassium phosphate, I want you to understand those are I know we have two different products listed, but those are the exact same thing, okay? And monopotassium phosphate, another way to say that would be MKP. So let me give you an example. It's like saying mom and mother. It means the same thing, but it's two different words. That's what MKP and monopotassium phosphate are. They're the exact same thing. Now, why do we have two different products? Is because some people know it as MKP and some people know it as monopotassium phosphate. So we want to offer a resource for either one of those customers, regardless of how they're searching for it.
Okay. All right. Wow. Very good. Very knowledgeable. So, thank you very much.
No problem at all. And so, like I said, if you can approach it from the rock phosphate perspective and you can give it time and let it slow release, then this is a much more cost-effective option. But if you're looking for a quick fix and instant supplementation, then we're looking at the MKP and the density, that type of stuff.
And so steady, right? Steady production, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you can get this rock phosphate into your medium early, like let's say 120 days before you're fruiting or flowering, now you're in a prime environment to where it will just constantly, slowly trickle phosphate to that plant over time, and it will become available during that fruiting and flowering stage. The problem is a lot of people will say, I'm about to enter into my fruiting and flowering cycle. Let me put some rock phosphate on top of the soil and top dress it, not knowing that it takes 100 days to break down, so we're really not getting any benefit from that. We're not gaining access to that phosphate in the time frame that we need it to. So in that setting, if you ran out of time and you didn't plan ahead, then that's where the MKP and the density really shine, is if there was no planning ahead and we need the food now to produce the fruits and flowers.
Right. Okay. Where are you guys located by any chance?
Yeah, we are in Idaho. Our warehouse is in Idaho and everything ships from Idaho.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, I'm in North Florida, so
Hey,
Daytona
enjoy
Beach
that weather.
area. Oh yeah, it's nice weather. It's beautiful. San Augustine. We're between. I live between San Augustine and Daytona Beach.
Oh wow,
Uh,
yeah, that's awesome.
it's really nice. The winter you'll have a few cold days here and there, but I protect my fruit trees and they're all in 25-gallon plastic containers, and I
Yeah.
protect it with a greenhouse.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
good.
So they do very well. All right, I'm going to order the water soluble for the first time here now, and see what it goes from there. I'll take it from there.
Well, let me give you a coupon code here before you exit. If you use this coupon code during checkout, it'll give you an extra discount off of your total order. So the coupon code is Green Thumb, and it's all one word, and it could be uppercase or lowercase, doesn't matter. Just all one word, Green Thumb.
Green Thumb. Okay.
Green Thumb.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Hey, no problem. Pleasure talking to you. Call me back if you got any more questions. I'm happy to help.
No problem. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.